That was the episode directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. Let's go. Let's go. That was a solid episode, yo. I hella like that episode. I'm not gonna lie. Like, bro, Star Wars is just so good when it's filled with aliens, when it's filled with mystery, droids, different planets, and this. Look at this world that they built up in one episode. I've never heard of this planet before. I don't know if anyone has heard of this planet before, but they did such a good job establishing all of these things that we know and don't know, and they just gave it to us so, like, it just weaves together perfectly. And having Jack Black and Lizzo in the episode was definitely something that I did not expect, but I definitely loved it. Not to mention the homie Christopher Lloyd. He definitely came through as well. I'm pretty sure I heard a couple of voices that also sounded very familiar from some of the droids and from one of the UG docs or whatever they're called. I'm pretty sure I heard some familiar voices amongst them and whatnot. So this episode was really awesome, bro, and I'm pretty sure people are going to have some issues with it, saying that it's filler, all this other shit that just is just like I it's ridiculous. But I love that in one episode we are basically going through an entire quest of a video game. We're not waiting for the entire season for something to transpire. Something has transpired in every single episode that we've seen, and every episode that we've seen has given us more and more on not just the Mandalorian culture, but also what's actually going on when it comes to the political side of Star Wars entirely. And I don't just mean that by the Mandalorians and all that type of stuff. I mean, like, legit with, what's it called? With the New Republic, with all of these other things that we're getting, that we're getting introduced to, that we're finding out about, or at least finding more out about it. We're just getting more of these beautiful things, and they're not really drop feeding us little pieces. They're giving us giant things, one piece at a time, and then in the end it's gonna all come together and it's gonna be freaking incredible, of course. But for this time being, it's just like, I love getting each piece of the puzzle week after week, but we're not even getting one piece. It's like the first week that we got, like the first episode, we got like all of the freaking corner pieces, you know what I mean, for the puzzle. And then the second week, we got all of the other edge pieces for the puzzle. And then it's just like slowly and slowly, we're getting all of these pieces and putting them in the spots that they go to build this new future, one that we already know about in the form of Star Wars, the sequel trilogy, of course. It's building up a lot of the stuff that we see there, giving us answers to the things that's going on there with the cloning, with the Emperor, with Palpatine, with all these other things. But it's also and letting us know how the Empire could have survived and turned into whatever it's called, the First Order or whatever. They're giving us all those pieces, but it's also giving us that other side that we don't know about things yet in the background. That's why we got the Purgle Whale. That's why we got all these little pieces, all these little things. Zeb, I almost called them Jebediah, but Zeb, that's why we got Zeb. That's why we're seeing all of these other things that are connecting to the other show, Bo-Katan even, like, we're getting so many pieces that have came from all different aspects of the universe, and they're now putting them all together in one big, beautiful masterpiece. And I think by the end of the show, we are going to be super excited and super just filled with just hype and joy. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I thought that Vox was Thrawn at first, and I was like, bro, they got Thrawn sitting in front of all these Mandalorians, son. I was like, it's about to get spicy. But I'm happy it wasn't Thrawn, because I want to see him in a completely different way. But I really just appreciate what they do with that. I just love all the things that they give us, finding out that there are still these separatists, and even finding out that Amnesty Act didn't just go to the Imperial people, but it also bled over to separatists as well. Everybody, like, it just, oh man, it's just stuff that we didn't know. It's things that we had no idea about. Well, I didn't have any idea about outside of this, because once we got to The Force Awakens, I believe that's the first one of the sequel trilogy, I was very confused a little bit as to what's going on in the universe, and we didn't get enough backstory as to how things came to be that way or anything like that. It's just, I have been every voice you have ever heard, and then it's like, okay, that's our explanation, I guess, then. But now we're getting all of this other, not all the other world building, all the other lore aspects that build up to what we already know. And that's one thing that baffles me from people, is it's like, you guys already know what the book end is in the future, right? So why are we not, you feel me? Why are we not focusing more on these stories, giving substance to what we know happens in the future, and then building up into the future beyond that as well, especially with Ahsoka coming in. You know, we're definitely going to see Hera, definitely going to see Chopper, Sabine. It's very possible that we see all of these things come into play more and more, and they didn't let us know. Like, I'm on the side of thinking that maybe those mercenaries didn't actually break out Moff Gideon, but it's possible that they did. But I think my theory last week was that the rebels broke out Moff Gideon. You know, I don't think they would, but at the same time, they wouldn't murder all of those people in there, so maybe not. But I would like it if it was like the rebels or something like that that broke Moff Gideon out in order to get to Thrawn. But once again, I just kind of canceled that theory out with saying, you know, all those people were dead in there. The rebels definitely wouldn't do that, so I guess I got to scratch that off the list. I'll see if I can tweak that some way to make that fit, but overall, I think I really appreciated this episode, and I appreciated all of the world building. That's one thing that I think people don't appreciate enough about Star Wars, and that's why it gets called filler so much, is because there's so much about Star Wars that people don't know, and even for the things that people do know, there's still a whole other side that we have no idea about. So while we're going from beat to beat in this new city, in this new planet, with Jack Black and Lizzo as Lord and Lady of it, which I thought was awesome. And we're getting all of these different pieces that connect to this world. And then overall, it's like, okay, why are we spending all of our time on this world? It means nothing. Okay, this world directly connects to the Mandalorians. That, you know what I mean? Like, that's what that means. Like, this scenario that we're in is directly connected to that scenario, and there's only one way that we can get there, or not just get there, but it has to be understood by not just us nerds that know what the hell is going on, but also from the general audience point of view. That's why we got the recap at the beginning of this episode. In my humble opinion, the recap for this episode should have been the recap for last season on The Mandalorian. You know what I mean? Like, that's how good that recap was. And I think we should get something more like that, you know? I think we should get something more like that. I definitely loved my guy, the Ukwalas. I don't know what they were called. I can't think of their name. But, you know, I have spoken. I love that. I love Din Djarin speaking in the manner that they speak in and utilizing that. Guess what? That comes from world building. Like, you know what I mean? If they didn't world build, if we didn't know that happened in the past, it would mean nothing to us now. But we do know about it because it was built up within the universe and the world. That's world building. That's lore. And that's what they're giving us right now. Also for the future of the Star Wars shit that we have yet to get into. Because I promise you, it's going to matter that my guy Grogu just got knighted. That's going to matter in the future for sure. Like, all of these little pieces that they're giving us, I have like no doubt in my mind that everything is going to matter in the future. The same way how Mandalorian has made everything that's ever happened in the Star Wars universe ever matter. Like, it's kind of insane the way that they've done that, but that's just a fact, and I'm loving it. I'm loving every second, every minute. Man, I swear that she can get it. Man, if you a bad bitch, put your hands up. Okay. I'm done. But yeah, bro, I love that episode. I definitely want to know what you guys thought about that in the comment section down below. Definitely give me your rating and all that good stuff. Let's jump into the chat and see how everybody else was feeling. That's how it ends. Damn. Yeah, for real. I felt the same way. I didn't feel the same way, to be honest. I was like, I wanted it to end that way. I liked it. Mando is not with any of the bullshit. That is a big fact. That was fun, but the first 2/3 was filler to have Bo-Katan take back the Darksaber and her throne. On that note, the later Clone War episodes did the same, and I am here for it. Yeah, and bro, like, I personally don't think it's filler. Like, I don't think we've seen one piece of filler in this season yet, to be completely honest. I think that filler is a word that gets used when we don't know what's happening next, right? Like, it's a word that is used to actually just say I'm kind of confused as to why we went through all of that instead of just, you know, but it's not that it's filler, it's just that it hasn't come to fruition yet. It's world building, it's background building, it's lore to more of the universe that we have yet to see. How many planets do we, you know, not how many planets, but they're on the outer rim. We know a lot about the outer rim, but we don't know a lot about the outer rim. So, you know, like giving us all of that stuff, I'm liking it. I'm digging it, yo. I'm digging it. Love the season 1 callback as well. Yeah, for real, I have spoken. When that happened, I thought I started the wrong episode. LOL. I feel that. I was just grinning ear to ear. For real. It just felt so awesome to see Mando being able to use everything that he has learned, but then at the same note, legit forget everything that he's learned and then like treat the droids the way that he was treating them, right? Like on one hand, he's definitely come a long way, and then on the other hand, it's like, oh, he's literally regressing to the trauma that he knows when it comes to the droids and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I really love the duality that they've been giving Din Djarin with dealing with his personal feelings, but also trying to be, you know, a better person overall at the same time. The droid running away like a human and throwing stuff had me rolling. Legitimately, I was cracking up the whole time because bro was moving like that. Yo, the droid was trying to get out of there. Like he was trying to get up out of there. Like he was doing everything possible to be free. And it's so and I really enjoyed this episode for multiple reasons, a multitude of reasons, like so many reasons. I appreciated it, but what I really loved about it is how it made it humanized the droids more, right? Like when the bartender droid says the humans don't have long lifespans, they built us and it's the least that we can do for them. Like that gives a whole nother type of light that's shining on the droids than what we've really, you know, like we all feel this, we all kind of felt the way, we all had a connection to droids in the first place is what I'm trying to say. Like everybody that watches Star Wars, it's impossible to not get connected to some of the droids. Chopper, R2, C-3PO, BB-8, you know what I mean? It's hard not to get connected to some droids, but this hit home a little bit more, letting us know like, yo, the droids don't think that they aren't slaves to us, you feel me? They're helping us because they know we only gonna be around for like 80 to 100 years max, you know what I'm saying, on a good day, you know what I mean? Like, so they like, hey, bruh, you know, let's just help them out because they basically hopeless without us. That is an amazing thing to see and know about droids because it builds up so much more of Star Wars, of the Star Wars universe, especially for those people who may not read books, watch some of the animated shows, all these other things, to know about all of this other, all of this lovely lore world building that we've gotten throughout the years when it comes to the droids, right? But this like I said, it puts a nice bow, Mando puts a nice bow on every piece of lore and world building that comes from Star Wars. And when you're dealing with a universe that is legit, like created from every atom of what the universe is, it's not like there's like, even if there is an Earth somewhere, they don't go to that thing. You know what I mean? Like every part of the universe is created. It's from someone's, you feel me? So in order to portray the world and portray these universes, you can't just slap people into these universes and not let them know anything about what's going on. You got to be able to build up these things, especially with how episodes work. You got to have a build up, you know, like filler and is not build up, you know, like like watch anime if you want to know what filler is. Like anime will let you know what filler is all the way. Like for sure. Because I'm already knowing the internet's about to be torn off of this episode, calling it filler, saying it wasn't eventful, because for some reason everyone wants is action. I'm not one of those people. I agree with what Antoine said as well. The later episodes of Clone Wars did something very similar because they were building up the world of what was going on within the Clone Wars. Like, and of course it's animation, so filler in animation is definitely going to be filler. That some of those episodes are definitely filler. I can agree with that. But this we have really not seen anything of filler yet. We can only know it is filler once the season has well, not even just the season, but all of this stuff has come, because that's what they've done. They've called back to other things that have happened and made it matter. Other things that have happened in Mandalorian has mattered every step of the way to where we are now. And I love it. And I am all for Bo-Katan having the Darksaber back. And I'm pretty sure this has always been the plan. I don't think this is something that was just thought of, honestly, especially with how bad Din Djarin was handling the Darksaber from the start. Like, he never was handling the Darksaber correctly, because he had no connection to it, honestly. Like, we know how the Darksaber works from Rebels when Sabine had it, and she was taught how to use it by Caleb Doom. Like, you have to have some type of, like, it's deeper than just being brute strength. It's an emotional connection, a mental connection. It's being one with the Force, for a lack of better words, or whatever the Force means to that specific religion, I guess, you know. And I think that all of the things that we have seen have done a really good job of building it up and letting us know, like, yo, the future of Star Wars is bright, and it's about to go crazy.
If you guys would like to support Mark Bros, all you gotta do is visit our website at www.markbros.com and buy some merch. Represent the superfan. Or you can join our Patreon to get early access to content, patron-only scoops, giveaways, private Q&As, and those sacred watch parties. We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Excelsior.
On today's pop culture news update.